John Tyler was born into a world of privilege and tradition. He was born in Virginia in 1790. His family owned a large plantation called Greenway. This was part of Charles City County. Tyler grew up surrounded by enslaved people. This was common in the South at the time. He learned about politics from his father, John Tyler Sr. His father was a governor of Virginia. John Tyler's rise to the presidency was anything but straightforward. It was a series of unexpected turns. It started in the halls of the Virginia legislature. It culminated in the highest office in the land. Tyler's journey was a testament to his political acumen. It also showed the unpredictable nature of American politics. After his time in the Virginia legislature, Tyler served in the U.S. House of Representatives. He later served in the Senate. He was known for his unwavering commitment to states' rights. He became a vocal critic of President Andrew Jackson's policies. He saw them as an overreach of federal power. In 1840, the Whig Party chose Tyler as their vice presidential candidate. This was a strategic move. They wanted to attract Southern voters. They chose William Henry Harrison as the presidential candidate. Harrison won the election. Tyler became the 10th vice president of the United States. Tragedy struck just 1 month into Harrison's presidency. Harrison died from pneumonia. This made Tyler the first vice president to ascend to the presidency due to the death of a president. This was a moment of great uncertainty for the nation. No one was quite sure what to expect from the untested Tyler. John Tyler's presidency began in uncharted waters. There was no precedent for a vice president assuming the presidency so early in a term. This created a constitutional crisis. Tyler asserted his right to the full authority of the presidency. This set the stage for a contentious relationship with Congress. Tyler, a staunch states' rights advocate, opposed the Whig agenda. His vetoes led to a complete break with the party. He was formally expelled from the Whig Party, leaving him politically isolated. A legacy forged in compromise and controversy. The Webster-Ashburton Treaty and the Annexation of Texas. Despite the political storms that engulfed his presidency, John Tyler achieved notable successes in foreign policy. One of his most significant accomplishments was the Webster-Ashburton Treaty of 1842. This treaty resolved a long-standing boundary dispute between the United States and Great Britain. Tyler also played a pivotal role in setting the stage for the Annexation of Texas. This treaty paved the way for Texas to become the 28th state. The Shadows of Secession, Tyler's Final Act, and the Confederacy. As John Tyler's presidency ended, the issue of slavery cast a long shadow over the nation. The annexation of Texas reignited the debate over slavery's expansion. This issue ultimately led to the Civil War. Tyler, a slaveholder, joined the Confederacy and died in 1862. A president without a party, Tyler's enduring impact on the presidency. John Tyler's presidency was a study in contradictions. He was a man of principle and a pragmatist. He left an enduring impact on the office he held. Tyler's assertion of power set a crucial precedent. A complex legacy reflections on Tyler's place in American history. John Tyler remains a complex and often overlooked figure in American history. He was a president who defied easy categorization. He left a mixed legacy. His defenders point to his accomplishments in foreign policy. These include the Webster-Ashburton Treaty. They also mention his role in the annexation of Texas. His critics condemn his unwavering support for slavery. They argue that his decision to join the Confederacy tarnished his legacy. Ultimately, John Tyler's presidency serves as a reminder of the complexities of American history. Please like and subscribe to History Recolored for more stories you'll be sure to enjoy.